Spring Black Friday is on at the Home Depot. Save on grills and patio sets that will be sure to bring your hosting game up a notch. Fire up your feast with help from the Home Depot and save on grills. Like the Next Grill 4-burner propane gas grill was $249, now in special buy for $199. Or give everyone the best seat in the yard with the Hampton Bay Mayfield Park 4-piece conversation set for only $399. Save on grills and patio sets with low prices guaranteed during Spring Black Friday only at the Home Depot. Now through April 22nd, while supplies last. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
K-pop demon hunters Haja Boy's breakfast meal and Huntrix meal have just dropped at McDonald's. They're calling this a battle for the fans. What do you say to that, Rumi?
It's not a battle. So glad the Saja Boys could take breakfast and give our meal the rest of the day.
It is an honor to share.
No, it's our honor.
It is our larger honor.
No, really. Stop.
You can really feel the respect in this battle. Pick a meal to pick a side.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At participating McDonald's while supplies last.
And what do people do? They just like take it and go, oh, smells of Tom Brady.
This is the plaintiff, Stephen Misterini. He says he sold the defendant a game-worn Tom Brady New England Patriots jersey. And a month or two later, the guy said he wanted to return it. When he asked why, the defendant told him he didn't think it was real. He stands behind his sports memorabilia business and wired the guy back his $3,500. But the defendant never returned the jersey to him. So now, the louse has his money back and he kept the jersey. Some people. He's suing for $3,700, the cost of the jersey and the authentication costs. This is the defendant, Jeff Cifalilo. He says he's a huge Patriots fan and has been collecting game-worn jerseys for 10 years and currently has about 150 of them. He ended up buying a bogus jersey from the plaintiff, who gave him a fake name and signed his check using that fake name. Bottom line, the FBI is onto this guy. He's nothing more than a rip-off artist, and he's opening a huge can of worms for himself by filing this lawsuit. He's accused of fumbling.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Stephen Misterini?
Yes.
You are suing Jeff Cifalilo for $3,700 that you refunded him, and then he kept the item he had wanted the refund for.
That's
Tell me
correct,
what
Your
happened.
Honor. Well, I sold the defendant a game-worn Tom Brady jersey, 2007 jersey, in June of 2010.
Okay, hold on. What's a game-worn jersey?
It's a jersey that's actually worn by the players in a game. Very difficult to come by, you know, and
How
I
does
can
one
understand
get 'em?
why. Well, I have a number of friends that, due to the nature of their job, have access to
And what
some
do
of
they
the
do? They
NFL
steal them?
players.
What do you, like, how does that, like,
No,
like in
they-
other words, does Tom Brady take his shirt off and hand it to your friends and
you know,
just gets new
there's-
shirts instead of washing them? Like, how does this work?
Well, that's, you know, they get it through equipment managers, and sometimes the team sells them directly, sometimes the players sell them, sometimes the equipment staff sells them. You know, there's
I don't like to think they're
various
selling them
avenues.
for charity or something, but they're
Yeah,
just
well, they
selling
do
them to
that.
make a buck.
You know,
Like,
they
how
do
much does
that.
the jersey go for? $3,700, apparently.
You know, this jersey can range anywhere from, you know, $3,000 to $10,000.
And what do people do? You could just like take it and go, oh, smells of Tom Brady. Right.
Well, the reason why I have a number of these items is because I'm an avid collector myself, and it's just, you know, exciting to have a piece that was actually worn on the field.
How many of these do you own?
Hundreds.
Hundreds?
Hundreds of jerseys, helmets, cleats.
Oh, what's your place smell like? Like, what's, you know?
Well, I keep it all in my office, so it's...
Yeah, but what's your office smell like? Like, just all that scent of sweat and, like, how
Yeah, I
does
guess,
it...
you
No,
know, maybe.
serious. I'm serious. Does it smell
No,
or not really?
You know,
It's
after
just
a while,
dirty.
it just dissipates for a while. You
Just
know, you don't-
dissipates, and then
yeah,
you just see
you don't
the dirt or whatever?
Yeah,
from...
yeah, you see the marks and the helmet hits and all those type of things on
Okay,
it.
so you put it on what? On Craigslist?
Yeah, somebody listed it for me. Someone that was helping me out listed it on eBay, in fact, and I sold the jersey. The defendant actually replied once he got it. He was pleased. He was very happy with it. I actually have a copy of that email if you'd like to see it,
Yep, let me see it.
which confirms he received the jersey.
Who's John Turneau?
He's the person that actually made the listing. So he was having the email correspondence with him initially until the jersey was sold, and then.
But
directly
who's
after.
John Turneau?
He's just someone that was listing items for me, helping me out.
He exists?
Yeah. So basically what happened was he seemed to be pleased with the jersey. About 2 months later, I received a phone call from the defendant saying that he wasn't pleased with it. He was no longer happy with it, wanted to return it. I asked him what the problem was. He said there was an issue with authenticity.
Do you own a bunch of these too?
Quite a few. I can't say it publicly. My wife might watch.
Seriously, how many do you own?
Probably 100.
100 of them. Where do you put them?
In the closet.
You hoarders. You're not collectors, you're hoarders. So you just put them in the closet hanging up, or what do you...
Yes, just hang up.
And how does one authenticate these?
I send them off to a professional authentication company. It's actually very easy to identify a jersey that's been forged by somebody else. You'll get an opportunity to read the authentication.
I want that opportunity now.
Okay, sure.
But can you answer me, though? How?
I don't work for the authenticator, but they go through a whole... Every jersey is tagged a certain way. It's dated. It's sized. They're all cut specifically for a player. And then they go to look to see if that jersey was ever won in a game by video, which in this case, this jersey was photo matched to a game on January 7th, 2007 against the Jets.
Okay.
That's why it looked so good, because it was purposely photo matched.
According to your expert, he is unable to authenticate it for the following reasons. The nameplate appears to have been tampered with. The left side appears to have been repositioned. Certainly tampering would be a sign of alarm. The year size tag, because there's only one reason to tamper, and that's to make it look real. The year size tag in the tag appears to have been tampered with and is evident via the tearing to the left border and what appears to be a second set of stitch holes. The game wear appears to be contrived and not consistent with other examples viewed by Mears, Memorabilia Evaluation and Research Services. The New England Patriots jerseys are currently being distributed exclusively through their team website, and no program existed in 2007. We are unable to authenticate this item.
Mears Authentication also went on to say that they're very familiar with Stephen Misterini as a well-known forger of sports memorabilia. The authentication company.
Hold on one second. How are they? Is that in here somewhere?
I can provide the email to you.
Let me see it.
I also have...
Why aren't you selling it under your own name? Why is there this name?
That's the part that I wanted to
John Turneau.
Explain to you better.
He was just helping me list some items online. I have my.
You sent the check to John Turneau?
Yeah, I'd like to explain how it...
And then John Turneau deposits the check, or...
No, Misterini forges the check. I believe...
Wait, stop.
The plaintiff sold the defendant a jersey worn by Tom Brady. The defendant didn't think it was real. The plaintiff says the defendant stiffed him and kept the jersey. The defendant says the plaintiff is a crook and knew the jersey was bogus. Let's listen.
Who signs the back of the check written to John Turneau?
Steve Misterini.
Only Steve Misterini?
They also live at the same address.
Just a moment. Are there two signatures? One from John Turneau and then one from Steve Misterini?
Yes.
Okay. They live at the same address. You don't believe there's a John Turneau?
I'd like to explain a little more about what I do know, because this has been going on for 2 years now. The FBI has been involved in this case. The local police have been involved in this case. We've already been to criminal court on this case. This is 2 years now.
And what happened in criminal court?
This has been going on. In criminal court, Misterini never showed up for the pretrial hearing.
And so what happened?
At this point in time, he's still saying that he's John Turneau.
So what happened when you don't show up? There's a consequence. There's a warrant issued for your arrest.
Yes, and it was. The very first time.
So there's a warrant right now for his arrest?
That's not true, Your Honor.
Just a moment. There's a warrant right now for his arrest.
It has been released because after the warrant was issued, he submitted payment to me.
That's nonsense.
Let me see the paperwork for the warrant.
Absolute nonsense. There was no criminal
Stop.
case.
All right, so you email the folks at Mears and say to them that you've been digging deep because of the conclusions that they reached, and that you've discovered that the person who signed the FedEx package was, lo and behold, Steve Misterini. Mears sends you an email saying Steve M. is a known forger. I will see about getting the FBI's contact for you. Have you run into problems with Mears before?
Never. Never, Your Honor.
Well, they seem to know you.
Well, I've had items authenticated by them. That's the only reason why they would know me.
but they don't have a good opinion saying that they've been authenticated. What they're saying is that you're a known forger. What do you think they mean?
That's false. Absolutely false, Your Honor.
So have you had a run-in with them of some kind?
Never.
So then why would they say it?
The
The only reason someone says that is because either it's true or they have a grudge against you.
They heard it from him.
Well,
No, he's telling him that you're a known forger. Have you ever been arrested for any of this stuff?
Absolutely never.
Did you? According to you, there was a warrant. Where's the evidence of a warrant?
Your Honor.
Just a moment, sir. I'm asking him. Where's the evidence of the warrant?
It says warrant issued on the back page.
Sure does. On January 25th of 11. Why weren't you in court?
That's pertaining to this case, Your Honor.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Why weren't you in court?
The reason why I wasn't in court because there was a snowstorm that day, and I called the court and I asked them if we could postpone.
But why are you so indignant talking about how there wasn't a warrant? You know there was a warrant.
No. There wasn't a warrant. This is not a criminal case. The reason why I had to go to court is because
this is a criminal case. I'm looking at a criminal docket. There was a warrant issued. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Could I add something about the authentication?
Mm-hmm.
Steve Misterini has a well-documented history of...
And there is no John Turneau?
There is no John Turneau, as well as 20 other aliases he has. I can also go a step further because I bought another jersey from him in May.
Why?
Under another different name. A totally different alias. I paid $1,500.
How did you find out that it was him?
The jersey never showed up. So the post office did an investigation and found out that Mr. Misterini sent a package to Dunkin' Donuts next to my office, and inside the package, it was signed by a Dunkin' Donuts employee. It was addressed to the Dunkin' Donuts. Inside the package was a sweaty pair of sweatpants, which I have a picture of. The post office did an investigation. PayPal did an investigation and found that Steve Misterini was guilty, and I was refunded my money.
How many aliases do you use?
That jersey that he bought,
no,
he
what about the
emailed
sweaty
me
pants?
and said that he didn't want it.
What about the sweaty
I
pants?
don't know what he's talking about.
How many different names do you use, and why don't you just use Steve Misterini if it's your jersey?
I use only my name.
I also have all those aliases.
Let me see the jersey.
All those aliases
Your
that no
Honor,
one knows.
I just want my jersey back. That's all.
Well, I don't know that you get it back. I'm not sure. I'm pondering.
This is the list of the aliases and all the other people he's frauded.
Let me see. Do you have any more paperwork on the criminal case in Massachusetts?
No.
And then you posted, what website is this? Game Used Forum?
There's multiple websites there.
And is this you posting or somebody else?
Those are all somebody else.
Somebody else. These are all the people who are mad at Steve Misterini. What'd you do, wash it?
I didn't wash it, no.
I don't really want to smell it because I don't think it's Tom Brady.
Could be anybody.
I don't know who I'm smelling.
Not a good one.
Court's in recess.
All rise.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. If you could buy a jersey from anybody playing sports right now, who would it be?
Kobe from the Lakers.
Fair about. You know what? That's a fair one. What do you think?
I was going to say Kobe Bryant also.
You think? Wow, two Kobes. Let's get somebody different. Anybody?
Lionel Messi. He's the best.
Okay, and?
Derrick Rose, because he's hot.
Okay. Because there you go. Going inside the courtroom.
Did you try to give this to the authorities in Massachusetts and they said, well, the case was dismissed, so we don't need it as evidence?
They had it for a while, then they gave it back to me. It was a police investigator in Canton that had it. The gentleman at the...
Why don't you just leave it with them?
With who?
With the people who gave it to you. Why didn't you just say, no, I don't want it. This isn't real.
I don't remember. I mean,
okay.
It was...
So on what authority do you suppose I can say, yeah, you get to keep it, or yeah, take a scissors and let's cut it? I understand that you are frustrated because you feel that you've been duped and you feel that he's a thief. And you've compiled quite the case against him that a lot of people think he's a thief and think he's not legitimate, and why somebody might not use the name Misterini anymore and pose as under other names. You've done that. He's come in here without a John Turneau, without an affidavit from a John Turneau, without a picture of a John Turneau, without a picture of a license of a John Turneau, because there's no John Turneau. Because that's one of the aliases that he uses. I'm confident of it. And there's probably going to be other aliases that he uses. So if he's done using John Turneau and done using Steve Misterini, he'll use John Doe tomorrow and sell this again. And you know that, and I know that. And that's your fear, and that's my fear. But for me to confiscate this, I have been in this position before where I've had fake Louis Vuittons. And that's a trademark. I take it, and we're done. I hand it over to the fraud unit, and they take care of it to the counterfeit unit, and they take care of it, and I wash my hands. And I feel good, and you feel good. But what I have here is a jersey that, even if it's not game worn, has some value. And if the authorities at the feds and the authorities at the state level have told you we don't want it as evidence because it's not intrinsically contraband, how do you expect that I'm going to end up saying that? I can't. So if he gave you a refund, you got to give the shirt back. Now I want you to listen very closely to me. I am watching you. I'm watching you and anyone else who sells a Tom Brady shirt from that. This was the Jets game, wasn't it? I just had insult to injury? Okay. So I am watching for this shirt. And
Your Honor,
hopefully,
this jersey is going to remain in my personal
don't
collection.
talk. I don't want to hear from you. I am watching for this shirt. And this is yet another in a long list of reasons that you have to watch the People's Court so you don't get burned by buying this shirt. Verdict for the plaintiff, not for $3,700, but for the shirt, which I don't know what this is worth. According to Mears, maybe $100.
All right, guys, stay there.
So the plaintiff has the jersey back. I guess he's happy,
Yes,
right?
very happy.
You
Very
happy with this verdict?
Yeah, this gentleman tried to discredit me in order to steal from me, and it's just not right. All of the things he said are untrue. There's no FBI investigation. I think he watches too many episodes of Mission Impossible. He's delusional.
Well, why would you come in here and fight this in court and on TV and open yourself and the business up
Because
to
I didn't do anything
this kind
wrong.
of scrutiny?
Yeah, I didn't do anything wrong. That's why. Otherwise, I wouldn't come here. I just wanted my jersey back.
What does he have against you?
I don't know. He's, obviously delusional, but that's fine.
All right, right around the corner there. Your documents are ready. Sign them. And you come on in here. And so how do you feel about the outcome here?
I'm
Step
very
in a
happy.
little bit. Yeah?
Very happy.
Why is that?
I may have lost, but he did not get his money back, which I don't think he deserved. And I think the judge made it very clear that that jersey's not going to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm. You wanted people to see Steve Mistriani?
I am extremely happy that Steve Mistriani was unveiled, and everyone knows exactly who he is now.
Really? Well, he has, his claim against you that you're just trying to steal a jersey.
I don't need the jersey. He has it. At least he's happy now.
Harvey?
It's really simple. You cannot keep the goods and not pay. It is simply not reasonable, and justice doesn't always work that way, but in this case, it certainly does. You got to be reasonable. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Refreshing wild cherry cola meets smooth cream. The treat you deserve. Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream. Treat yourself.
Good sleep is everything. That's why Ollie's Science Back Support is made with a blend of melatonin and L-theanine for both kiddos and grown-ups. So when your mind won't switch off, you've got something that can help. Your racing thoughts and restless nights won't stand a chance. Find Ollie Sleep Solutions for the whole family at ollie.com. That's OLLY.com.
This is the plaintiff, Cortez Hendricks. He says he was driving down the street one day when the defendant's dog darted out into the road and hit his car. The dog took off after the incident, but it damaged his front bumper, which was hanging on by a thread. The defendant refuses to believe her loose and unleashed dog caused the damage to his car, refuses to pay him. So he's suing her here and now for the $559.07 he's owed. This is the defendant, Julia Armour. She says the plaintiff hits her dog, then has the nerve to sue her for close to $600 for a new bumper. Come on, man. She has a Jaguar, and a new bumper doesn't even cost that. Besides, she doesn't even believe her dog caused his damage and feels the guy's just trying to cash in on what he sees as an opportunity to get some free money. Pay? No way. She's accused of bumping it up, but good.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff says the defendant's dog ran into the street, hit his car, took off, and now the bumper is hanging by a thread. But the defendant says the guy wants a fortune for the damage, and she doesn't believe her dog is the culprit. It's the case of she'll be doggone.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Cortez Hendricks?
Yes.
You are suing Julia Armour?
Yes.
For $559.07, the amount you say it's going to cost you to replace the bumper of your car that you say was damaged by her loose dog.
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
Well, Your Honor, I was coming from my township hall paying my taxes. late that evening. They stayed open.
So you're already in a bad mood.
And as I was coming down to Hollywood Drive, and I got in the middle of Hollywood Drive, and on the side of the street, all of a sudden I know the dog had darted inside of my car. And I heard.
What do you mean inside of your car?
On the bumper. I did not see the dog, but the dog hit the bumper.
You know you hit something.
Yes.
And you were surprised you didn't know what you had hit.
No.
So you didn't know if you'd hit a kid at that point.
No, I wasn't a kid, yeah.
Right.
I pretty sure I wasn't a kid.
Okay.
And so when I stopped, the neighbor said it was a dog across the street where the dog was.
Because you stop the car, you get out of the car, and you don't see anything.
No.
And the neighbor calls out to you, it was a dog.
Yeah, and the dog had ran away.
Okay.
He
You didn't
ran
see the dog running away?
No, I didn't see the dog. Well, I looked, but I didn't see the dog.
Okay.
Because it was a little dark then at that time of evening.
Okay.
And
What
so-
time of the evening was it?
It was like around about after 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, and so I got basically get back in the car and go ahead. I got back in my car and I left. My wife and I left. And so as I got home, I was going back down to the church. And if I make these turns with my wheel, I heard a little noise, like, you know. I said, let me get out and check my car. Find out where the noise coming from. And when I looked at around the front, I saw the bumper hanging down on the side.
Okay.
Where the dog had hit it.
Do you have pictures?
Yes, I do.
May I
ma'am.
see them?
Thank you, sir.
What kind of car is this?
202 Town Car, Lincoln.
This bumper's made of what? Fiberglass?
Fiberglass is like the auto shop fella told me, say, like recycle. It's just
So
a
it's
shell.
cracked.
It's just a shell, like.
Right. This is the house.
That's the house where the dog came from. And the other brown house is where the defendant lived at. Right
The house
there.
with the
That's
lights?
the house, yes. They live across the street.
Okay. So what happens? You go home, you see the crack on your
On my bumper.
Okay.
Okay, so next day I came back. Okay, so I went and I knocked on another fella met me, a neighbor that lives in their vicinity. Okay, so next day I come back.
The next day?
Yeah, it was dark and I couldn't get no knock on nobody's door that time of night anyway. So I was parking my car and I saw this neighbor that was there. So I told him, I asked him, did the dog live next door to him? He said, oh no. He said the dog lived across the street over to the
Was
brown
it the same
house.
neighbor, the same guy who had been there the last time?
Yes.
Did he remember you?
Yes, because he told me, when he approached me, he saw my car. He said, well, that's what the dog done? I said,
Okay,
yes.
what's the name of that neighbor?
I don't know his name.
You didn't get a statement from
He didn't give
him?
me his name, no.
Okay.
No, because I rode by there later on. I saw him and the defendant talking, so I guess that he wouldn't give me nothing like that.
Okay.
Anyway,
So what happens?
So therefore, he pointed the neighbor house, the defendant house out. So I went to the house. I knocked on the door, and the little girl answered the door. I said, your mother home? She said, yes. Okay, then she called her mother. She came to the door. And I explained to her what happened, what the dog had done to my car.
Right.
And so she came out and looked at the fender on the car. She said, oh, I don't think my dog done that. I said, oh, but he did. She said, you got any witness? I said, yes. She said, who is it, a black guy or a white guy? That's just what she said. I said, well, both.
You said
A
both?
white guy and a black guy.
Was there a white guy and a black guy?
Yes.
Okay, which one was the neighbor who had pointed her dog out?
She went to the neighbor black guy house, but he wasn't home. So she saw Mr. Bob, the white guy.
Who's the guy who gave you the information?
Oh, the black guy.
The black guy, all right. And did you just say the white guy's a witness too?
Yes, he was a witness. When the
he
dog
was
came
a
across.
witness. How did
He
you know
was a
the white guy was a
Because
witness?
he told her mother that the dog did. I saw the dog do it, Mr. Bob.
Where were you when he said that to the mother?
Me and her was together over on the sidewalk where he was walking his dog.
Okay.
He was walking his dog.
Okay.
And he told her that, yes, your dog hit my car.
Okay.
And so...
all right, what's going on?
So, is it reasonable to pay $600 for a bumper that's damaged?
I'd say yeah. You got labor, you have overhead, you have whatever, depending on what type of vehicle it is.
Fair enough. What do you think?
No, absolutely not. That should be illegal.
$600. I mean, what is it? What's a bumper? It's not a ruined bumper, but a bumper that's damaged. What should it cost?
200.
Really? You'll have to tell me where you go for this stuff and whether it's legal going inside the courtroom.
Well, Mr. Hendricks, he came to my house 2 days later after you hit the dog and said
So,
that,
but you knew, it was 2 days after he hit the dog, so you knew he hit
what
the
happened
dog.
was my neighbor said that they were all across the street. It was about 3 dogs playing, my daughter, some kids, everything was outside across the street. As they were coming home, the dog went before her, so he
Because the dog was off a leash?
Yeah, it wasn't on a leash. And so they were across the street, and I take it that he did hit the dog. I was not there.
Well, but did your daughter tell you that? Where was your daughter?
She was coming across the street with him. So
Okay, so that's what your daughter told you,
Yeah, and
apparently?
she said
Okay,
the
so
guy
it's not
hit the
really a
dog,
dispute about that.
and he kept going. And so 2 days later, when he did come back, well, that day he was talking about my mom, my mother, not me, that he came that first time with the papers demanding a check for his damages. He came back to me 2 days later with his son, who's a officer where we live, demanding a check for what my dog had did to his car. I didn't feel like my dog did the damages to his car. I
Okay,
felt
but
like
you know that the dog and the car had contact.
Yeah, that's what the neighbor
You took
said.
the dog. Well, that's what the neighbor said, and then you took the dog to the vet.
Yeah, the dog just had a scratch on his tail. I took some pictures of the dog's tail. There's like nothing wrong with the tail.
Oh, the dog is more indestructible than the car bumper because the bumper's like fiberglass. You know, like,
but I think it was already like that. I don't believe that the dog did that. I just don't
what
believe
evidence
it.
do you have that it was already like that?
I have no evidence. I
All
don't
right,
know.
let's
I
take
don't
a
know
look
this
at the
guy.
picture of the car and see if it's some ratty car that has a bunch of damage or if it's a car that has only that damage. Kind of looks like a pretty pristine car with only that damage. I mean, how much impact? You know, this is not. We're not talking about metal. We're talking about that. You know that. You know what?
Yeah, but the dog was only hit on the tip of the tail. Like the pictures that I have of my dog, it was just a scratch on the tip of his tail.
Do you have a picture of your dog?
Yeah, I have it. It's in my camera.
Your Honor, may I?
May you what?
May I? Now the neighbor told me the dog was fighting.
With another dog?
Her dog was fighting. They had a stick and broke the fight up. And
That those neighbors had broken up the fight with a stick?
Yes, with her dog.
They weren't fighting.
And that's where the dog was running.
Did the neighbors tell you that your dog had been fighting?
No.
By the way, what kind of dog do you have?
It's a pit bull mix. That's the damage right there to the dog's
Dog
tail.
was fighting.
Why is a pit bull mix off leash?
My daughter had the dog outside.
How old's your daughter?
16.
You got to talk to your daughter, right?
Yeah.
And make sure she understands that that can't happen. Otherwise, you can't leave the dog with the daughter if she doesn't know.
Yeah, but the dog wasn't fighting. The
Yeah, but why is
dogs
the dog
play
loose?
all
Why is
the
the pit bull loose?
No, but they were all playing. It was 3 dogs all together. They play all the time.
Yeah, I know. That's why I see you all the time. You know? What is that?
Damage to the tail. But you can scroll both ways to see the picture of the dog.
The damage on tail is the only damage to the dog. I have a
Okay, but we're really, this is starting to get almost surreal. Okay, we know it's your dog. We know there's no question of identity. You know the neighbors told you it was your dog and that they saw it with their own eyes. You don't really doubt it's your dog because you took the dog to the vet. What you're saying is that damage had to be there beforehand because your dog isn't all that injured.
Or that he could have hit something else. It could have been a ball or anything in the street. He doesn't know what he hit.
The neighbors know exactly what he hit. They saw your dog run into his car.
They know, yeah, they saw that part. Yeah.
I mean, like, what am I supposed to do with that part? Like,
I
pretend
don't
I don't
know.
hear it? Basically, you give those things a dirty look and they crack. You know?
Yeah, it's possible.
They're not that strong. Okay. I've heard enough. I mean, your pit bull's kind of solid-looking fella. I think your pit bull is way stronger than this bumper and shouldn't be running loose in the neighborhood for reasons other than the man's bumper. And I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $559.07. Pay the man.
Thank you.
Well, the plaintiff was able to prove his case and win this case here in the People's Court. That was your dog that did the damage to his bumper.
I guess so. That's what the judge says, so hey.
Well, how come you couldn't just settle this with him before you got
Well,
here?
I had asked him, can I pay for the damages through an auto body shop that I know he didn't want that. He wanted these new parts and new this and that, so I just thought that he was trying to get over on me.
You think he tried to take advantage of you
Yes.
here?
Yeah, I do.
So it's not about whether your dog did it, it's about how much he's trying to get out of you.
Yes, exactly.
Right down there, okay?
Thank you.
All right, come on in here. Mr. Hendricks, you win your case. Congratulations. What's your reaction to this?
Well, I'm glad that it was settled here in court, but it could have been settled otherwise, because I asked her how does she want to pay it, monthly or weekly, like that, you know.
So if she had handled this differently, we didn't need to be here.
She didn't need to be there. I didn't offer her no money for no check or nothing. I just gave her the bill for the car to be repaired. That's all I did.
All right, drive slow.
Thank you.
Harvey?
You know, by the way, if the dog continues to roam free in the neighborhood, you really should call the Department of Animal Control. They can actually come out, they can talk to the owner of the dog, and ultimately, if the owner's really irresponsible, they can remove the dog from the neighborhood. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
You know you need fiber for a healthy gut, but do you actually know how to get it? Quaker's been serving up fiber since 1877, with over 100 great-tasting, good source of fiber options to choose from. Whether you like old-fashioned oats, instant oatmeal, granola, or oatmeal squares, Quaker makes it delicious. So good. Get your fiber with Quaker. Shop Quaker's good source of fiber products at a store near you.
This is the plaintiff, Melissa Sinea. She says she and her boyfriend rented an apartment from the defendant, and once they split up, she couldn't afford the rent anymore. She was on a month-to-month lease, decided to move out, and is now having one heck of a time getting her loser landlord to return her $650 security, so she's suing. This is the defendant, John Dubois. He says the plaintiff and her boyfriend were slobs who ruined his beautiful apartment. They threw chewing gum onto the carpeting, ripped up his linoleum floor, and since he's been a landlord for over 30 years, he knows he has every right to hold on to the plaintiff's security to cover his losses. He's accused of keeping it all.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says she and her boyfriend broke up. She couldn't afford the rent, so she moved out of the apartment, and now the landlord won't return the security. But the defendant says the plaintiff's ex was a total slob, throwing gum on the carpets. It's the case of chew on this.
Melissa Sinea? Yes. You are suing John Dubois for $650, your security deposit that he refuses to return. Tell me what's going on.
I moved into the apartment on December 1st of 2011. With my ex-boyfriend. We had a falling out in September of 2012, and I notified John before that we were going to be moving out because my ex-boyfriend had lost his job. When I had notified him that we were moving out, or that I had moved out ahead of time and let him know the circumstances as to what happened with my ex-boyfriend. And
you left when?
I moved out on September 11th, and my ex-boyfriend moved out by September 30th.
Okay.
I talked to John on the 30th, and he told me that the apartment was a mess, and so I told him I would be there the following day to clean it, because I figured my ex-boyfriend had not cleaned it, and I had not seen the apartment, and I brought my father with me to clean the apartment. On the first...
Who's the person with you there?
That's my father.
Okay.
On October 1st, we cleaned the apartment. It took us about an hour and a half to clean wipe down the walls.
What were his complaints on that day?
He had told me that the walls were dirty and the windows, to be specific. And I
So
believe
you
the
said to him, no
refrigerator.
worries, I'll go back. I'm sorry, I thought I did it well enough, but I'll do it better.
Yes.
Had you cleaned the walls and the windows?
I went back and cleaned everything.
No, had you before that?
No, I did
Okay.
not. My
Okay.
ex-boyfriend was living there, and we were not,
Right.
going
So
near
you
each
didn't
other.
clean it all. He was the last out.
Yes.
Okay.
And he had vacuumed and stuff like that, but he didn't wipe out the refrigerator, wipe down the counter, stuff like that.
He didn't clean. All right, so go ahead.
I went back home and I mailed him.
You sent him a certified letter saying where you wanted your security deposit to come to?
Yes.
All right, then the 30 days pass, you don't hear from him.
Yep. So I filed the court case. After I filed the court case, his girlfriend Cindy started calling me and texting me.
Okay.
So my dad called her and she was rude to him on the phone.
Come on, Dad. How was she rude to you?
Basically, I spoke with her and I said your 30 days had passed due to Connecticut law, and she offered us money back in the security deposit, and I told her that wasn't an option. And
Wait, she offered you what?
she offered us part of the money back in the security.
Part of the money back?
Yep.
What part did she say
About
she...
$300.
She wanted to keep $300 because she said the place was dirty?
Yeah, she wanted to give me like $350 back.
And you said no, we want
I
the whole
said
thing.
no. And basically, she got kind of rude after that, and I said,
How did she get
"Conversation's
rude?
over."
That's a conclusion, not a fact. Tell me how
Okay,
she got rude.
She was stating that it was kind of childish of Melissa to get her parents involved and so
How old
on
are you,
and so
Melissa?
forth.
I'm 23.
And what did she say about him getting his girlfriend involved?
That was a bridge I didn't bother crossing.
Yeah, my contract was with John, not with Cindy.
Yeah, he uses a rep, she uses a rep. Okay. What's going on? Why won't you return the girl's security deposit?
Like she said, at the end of September, her boyfriend was living there pretty much the whole month. On October 1st, Larry had seen me in the back. I was cutting wood and
Who's
stuff.
Larry?
Larry's her boyfriend.
Ex.
And he said,
Right?
ex-boyfriend, correct. And he said, John, when I was taking the washing machine and dryer out, I ripped the linoleum upstairs in the bathroom.
Oh.
And I said, all right, no big deal, as long as the place is clean. When I went there October 1st, me and my girlfriend and Will, who was the tenant downstairs, looked at the place, and it was disgusting.
Do you have pictures?
Yes. Well,
May I
I have.
see 'em?
I just have pictures of the ripped linoleum and the rug, and they're my
You didn't take
witnesses.
pictures of how dirty the place was?
No, but I have pictures of the rug where it's ripped after I
The
rug doctored
linoleum.
it, and the linoleum where it's ripped.
Right.
The place was disgusting. The stove never been cleaned. You could have write "wash me" on the windows. They both smoked. It was never clean. So I went October 2nd. I got a rug doctor, and I started cleaning. We spent 3 or 4 days in there cleaning.
Okay.
And
Give
I
me the
have
pictures of the linoleum ripped. Give me any pictures you have. And then, do
And
you
then
have
I
a
have
receipt for the rug doctor?
in a floor covering shop. What it would cost?
Why floor covering for the linoleum?
Yes.
Right. Did you ever send out a letter itemizing why you were keeping the money?
I would have given her all the money back.
That's not, okay, that is the answer to, would you have given her all the money? I asked a specific question. Listen.
So this landlord is saying it took me 3 or 4 days to clean a fairly small apartment. Are you buying that?
No.
I mean, how long does it take to clean even a messy apartment?
It should take no more than a day. I don't think so.
Depends if he hires a crew from the outside.
No, he's doing it himself.
So it shouldn't take 3 or 4 days.
What should it take?
A day, maximum.
Is it possible that an apartment could take 3 days to clean?
I don't think so. That seems very unreasonable.
And is it suspicious that the landlord doesn't bring pictures? You're nodding yes. Didn't bring pictures of the damage.
Yeah, it's show me the trash or kiss my man.
Going inside the courtroom.
Did you ever send her a letter itemizing why you were keeping any portion of the security deposit?
No, because she never called
Do
me back.
you want, it has nothing to do with who calls you, who begs you. It doesn't matter.
I
Do
didn't
you
itemize
Stop
anything.
talking. Do you understand that the law in your state requires you as a landlord, before you can keep a penny, to send a letter in those first 30 days saying, itemizing, I'm going to keep X, Y, Z because of A, B, C. Do you know that that's what the law requires you as a landlord to do?
I didn't know that.
Do you know it now?
Yes.
Do you know it now because I said it, or you know it now before you came here?
I know it now because you said it.
Really? Even before you came here, you didn't look it up? Okay. Yeah. You're supposed to send an itemized letter in your great state of Connecticut, as in many states, within the 30 days saying why you are keeping it. Now, Connecticut is kind of strict. They're one of the states that give you big fat punishment when you don't. What they say is that you now have to return to her double the security deposit. Not just the amount she's suing for, but double the security deposit. But Connecticut allows you to say, but judge, look at the damages and subtract the damages from whatever you're going to order me to do. All right? So let's look at geez, what did he do to that floor? How old is this linoleum?
2 years.
Do you have a receipt for the linoleum so you can show me how old it is? Because
No, I
if I'm
don't.
going to depreciate a value to the linoleum, I have to know how much it's worth.
Okay.
Do you have it?
No, I don't.
Okay. Are you learning anything by this experience?
Yeah, to take pictures before and after.
Take pictures, keep receipts, bring proof, that kind of thing. Do you have proof that you paid somebody to clean the place after she left?
No, I didn't pay anybody. Me and my girlfriend cleaned it. and
Okay,
rug
come on up
doctored it.
and call your witnesses. Tell me what you want me to hear from them. Go ahead, talk to
This
me.
Cindy, my girlfriend.
Okay.
It was disgusting. There was big black scuff marks all over the walls. We had to repaint in there. The stove was totally disgusting, burnt, spilt over stuff all over the place. Big stains on the carpets. Bathroom never cleaned. The toilet was gross. The refrigerator was disgusting.
Why didn't somebody take pictures?
Actually,
I never thought I'd be
we
here.
didn't think it would come down to this because we used to be really good friends.
You used to be really good friends with her?
Yes, they would come over all the time. We would go out on the boat, have picnics, what have you.
Really?
Yes.
As of October 1st, never heard from her again.
Never heard from her again.
Okay, so did you have to clean the place?
Yes, I did.
And how long did it take you to clean the place?
It took me probably 3 days. And I mean...
You know, I've cleaned a lot of places in my day. And
Number 3 days?
it's never taken me 3 days to clean anything.
Well,
and
when
I've,
you
know,
work
and I
7:30
mean big places. I don't understand why people.
When you work
took me
7:30
18
to
months.
5.
You know, I mean, come on.
You're honest, she was still
Yeah,
working.
when you work 7:30 to 5 and you get out and you only have like
So
a
it didn't
few hours.
take you 3 days?
The electricity was off, first of all.
Okay, so
We
it didn't take you
have
3
the
days.
light.
It took you 1 hour the first day, 1 hour. You know, it didn't take 3 days. It took 3 hours. You understand? So it doesn't really make
Well,
sense
not
when
the
you
whole
say it that
entire
way.
day, but it did take a while.
Okay.
And there was
Who
all
cleaned
kinds
it?
of dirt and grime all
Who
over the
cleaned it?
molding.
Who cleaned it? You did, or he
Yeah,
did, or both?
smoke
did?
debris all over the
Can
walls,
you
the
please answer
windows.
what I'm asking? Who cleaned it?
I did, and John.
Okay.
And she just stated a little while ago to you, she cleaned it for an hour and a half. If you've lived there a year, I don't think an hour and a half cleaning warrants cleaning it.
Yeah.
And on October 1st, I gotta spend a few days cleaning it. It's not ready to rent. It's disgusting.
Okay, here's the deal. The law your state is pretty strict against landlords, and it says that if they don't send that letter that we've already gone over that you have to send, itemizing the stuff, and I suggest you take pictures and include it in that letter for the next tenant, all right, then you're entitled to double. You're only suing for the single amount. You're entitled to double, okay? But he's entitled to deduct from it any damages that he can prove. Some states say you can't even come in and bother, you know, tough for you, you lost the damages. Not your state. It lets you come in. So now we're going to get into the damages part. So we start from the figure $1,300, which is double the security deposit. That's a law in your state. We deduct from it, I'm going to deduct $200 based on the condition that the place was left in terms of cleaning. I'm going to deduct $250 based on the aged linoleum. I'm taking into account the fact that you're not showing me how old the linoleum was, but I'm looking at a picture of it. That's not a very durable, strong product, and I'm depreciating it. So frankly, I think I'm being generous, which means that you need to return to the plaintiff tenant a total of $850. That's my judgment. Good luck, folks.
First out here, the defendant. Step right in here and tell me, you learned a lot about the law here today, didn't you?
Yes.
What are the main things you think you learned?
To cover your butt, you know, in the future, you want to definitely make sure you take pictures before and after.
That's correct.
You never know
Or
when you're going to
video.
be on a people's court.
That's correct. And what about sending the 30-day letter itemizing the reasons you're keeping security deposit? You got that?
Also, yes.
Okay. All right. Right down this way, okay? Head right down there. Come on in here and tell me, what's your feeling on the outcome here of this thing? Did you know about the double security?
Yes.
You did know about that?
Yes,
you
we
were
did.
You were only suing for security, not double, though. The judge gave it to you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. We heard about kind of a dirty-sounding lifestyle there, huh?
Yes, I am not a dirty person, and my ex-boyfriend cleaned the apartment before I went and cleaned it, so
Did he do a lot of damage in there?
no, he did not. It was only a small rip in the linoleum
Okay.
that was ripped.
All right, over to Harvey now.
Okay, this is really important if you're a landlord or a tenant. The ground rules vary from state to state, but in most states, if a tenant moves out, the landlord has a duty within a certain period of time. Usually, it's somewhere between 14 days and a month, a certain amount of time to either give the security deposit back to the tenant or give part of it back or none of it back, but then itemize exactly why the landlord is keeping part or all of the security. If the landlord doesn't do that, the landlord could be subject to double or even triple damages, which serve as a penalty for the wrongdoing.